Hey y'all. Excuse me, y'all. I just finished eating. It's been I want to say a long day, but if I tell y'all what I did, you all wouldn't know how much work it actually took. You know, like how when you tell someone you're a reseller and then all they picture is just like a breezy lifestyle. So yeah, that it was kind of a lot of work today, but I still got some work to do. Like today I'm going to be doing some new listings as I do every day. Also editing a video, and I thought I might stop in and talk to you all about PosherVA. So y'all, I broke down and got PosherVA, and it is a great program. Okay, y'all. All right, so a few things. One, I'm still pretty new to the program. I just wanted to tell y'all that I got it and what it's been so far. Basically, it has a free 14-day trial. I did let it go for about 7 days before I actually purchased it. So I used my trial, like only about half of my trial, because I was very happy with the sharing aspect of it, because during the 14-day trial, you don't have access to all of its little applications. You just have access to the sharing. And that was my main thing. I needed to be able to share more, because once Poshmark updated their live thing, sharing went through a little thing, and then people may not know what I'm talking about, because it may have been different for, like, let's say you have an Apple phone versus a Android phone. I do believe like some apps do act a little differently depending on what one you're on, like if you're on iOS or you're in the Android. Yeah, I think I told y'all that it slowed down. Let me explain what I meant by the sharing slowdown. Basically, if you have a Poshmark, you know that you have to share each item individually. So what I was noticing was that between the time that I clicked the option that says share to followers, there was a small 1 to 2 second delay that would happen before the system actually updated and shared my item. So it was adding an extra 5 to 10 minutes for my total share time. And although that doesn't sound like much, it can become an inconvenience when you're trying to get to the next task. So that's what I mean by it slowed down. It actually is back up to speed now. The sharing is back to normal. However, I still feel like PosherVA is definitely the move. Once your store is over, I don't want to put a number on it, because I want to say, well, if you just have a busy lifestyle and you find it hard to share throughout the day, I believe that this is a really great program to invest in, because honestly, it ends up paying for itself. So the first 7 days, I definitely saw an uptick in my sales on Poshmark, y'all. I was having such trouble with myself, because I knew, and this is just a part of me growing and everything like that. I'm not trying to like brag or nothing like that, but honestly, I have grown so much since I first started selling that in my mind, I was like, I'm putting up great things. Why is it taking it so long for me to actually get them sold? And I honestly felt like it was the exposure. I needed a little bit more exposure. So yeah, I already had it in the back of my mind. There was a few people that had already talked about this program that I listened to on a regular basis. And I just was trying to wait for the moment where I felt like my business was like at a place enough to just take care of that. Because, it costs to do business in general. So I had to consider that my business would be taking on another bill on top of, y'all, obviously I pay storage fees and I pay for all of my supplies and things like that. So it was a consideration that it took a little while, not too long. I did think on it for a while before. And then I kind of like tested myself and seen if I could just, make it happen with me sharing all on my own. But this little bit of I don't know if it was like a problem per se with the website, Poshmark's website itself. Like, I don't know if that was the case, but just the simple fact that this thing can happen let me know that it was something that I needed to allocate. That being the sharing, because as much as I would want to, I do a lot of running around during the day, whether I'm doing mail, going to the bins, y'all know, sourcing, takes hours sometimes, and I just do not have the time to stop and share. It's just not necessarily something that I felt like I could do as much as I wanted to. So I probably was getting about 2.5 shares a day. That's even on the good days. So on the good days when I could get 4, when we average it all out, I probably got about 2.5 shares per day. And we all know that's not enough to really, well, in my case, the goals that I'm trying to meet, it wasn't enough. So PosherVA definitely made a difference. One of the reasons I ended up just using half of the free trial is because I wanted to go ahead and start using the follow attribute. So at the moment, I do have scheduled shares every day, and I have scheduled follows per day. Because as much as I like to follow my own people, and because I have kind of a method in the way that I follow, I can't get to it every day. And so that's the one thing that I'm going to still do on my own. I share too on my own too, because I like to organize my closet. So some of these things I'm not just going to leave to PosherVA necessarily. Not to say you shouldn't, but just for my own, like, I like how I like things. But it has definitely taken a weight off of my shoulder to freaking have that automated sharing. Now, one reason why you may have some issues with PosherVA, depending on who you are, if you have like a laptop, like I use my laptop for this. So PosherVA actually requires for your computer to be on, not in sleep mode and not shut down. So you have to have your screen on. And so if it's not on, it won't run whatever is scheduled. And I think because this happened to me, eventually if it doesn't run enough times, it just clears the whole schedule, because it's not being able to actually run. So I did have to like make my laptop a little bit more like, I changed the time limits and things like that so that I can get more time while I'm away of my screen being on. So that's one kind of caveat. But usually I just get home, and if I see that it hasn't shared in the last couple of hours, I might just go ahead and run the program myself, because you can always just randomly start sharing it by pressing the start button. It is just such an easy thing. And it also has these different modes to where you can share fast, or you can share like super slow, which kind of like keeps things from being too back to back, And, if people have seen, I don't know how it works necessarily on the other end. Do they see your items go up, and back to back and just keep seeing it all day? I don't know if that's the case, But, if you all know, that would be interesting to find out. Leave me a comment for sure. I have never, and I've scrolled through Poshmark. I shop on Poshmark too. And I've never seen an item so many times that I got tired of it. So I'm just guessing that doesn't necessarily happen because there's so many people sharing at once. And I honestly have a lot of followers, and I follow a lot of people. So it's just not something that I feel like is a problem. As much as I kind of thought about that in my head, like, oh, if I share too many times, is that going to get annoying for my followers? Well, I do follow 1,000 people a day, so, somebody's not going to be annoyed, But anywho, I just wanted to tell y'all that. Just wanted to pop in, say what's up, and I'll see y'all on the next clip or video. Bye!